Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video we are going to continue our look at painting Necrons from the Indomitus box set, and in this video I am going to weather the chrome paint job that I have been doing on the Necrons. Now if you want details on how I did the chrome, I will refer you to the previous video on the Necron warriors. We're going to use raw umber and burnt raw sienna oil paint. Now these are just cheap dollar store oil paints. There's no, nothing fancy to them. They're just oil paints you can pretty much find almost anywhere. We're going to use some mineral spirits, and I'm going to use a synthetic brush to apply the colors because I am using mineral spirits, and I don't really feel like using my good sable hair brushes to, when using, thinners of this nature. So I'm just going to use this synthetic brush. I just get a little bit into the bristles, not so much that I'm turning this into a wash or anything like that, just to thin down the color so that it flows nice and smoothly on the surface. You may notice that on the sienna that I don't use any of the thinner on that, as I grab some from the palette so that I can quickly blend the colors together just for any areas where we want some tonal variance. And of course you could leave it in this fashion, but here I'm going to use a paper towel and wipe the excess away, leaving just these little streaks and the dirtiness in behind the recesses and all of that, giving us a much needed weathering appearance. And again, with the chrome paint job, it is a very, very shiny. It's not quite apparent here in the video, but it is very, very shiny. It's very, very reflective. It's a lot of fun. And this weathering, I mean, we could do more or less with this weathering. We could also run with black, but I found black would just be a little bit too dark. You could also use this technique just to simply shade the model as well, using oil paints in this regard. And you may notice the direction in which I pull the paper towel, which is like basically following the length of the leg, so that we get that little streakiness, because again there's dirt and grime all over this Necron model. So you'll see here some of the parts on the legs, you'll see there's like long streaks that form. Basically it's kind of like using your brush in that fashion. And of course the oil paint does provide a bit of tinting over the entirety of the surface as well, so that's also a lot of fun. Now if this was pulling a little too much of the color or leaving a little too much color onto the surface, you could also come back and use mineral spirits on some of the areas to pull some of that excess surface off. Now again, there is a layer of gloss varnish on top of the metallic, so that basically we're just working on top of a glossed varnish surface here, which makes this phase really easy. But again, that's pretty much the process in which I use the chrome paint as we're working our way. You can see here I'm simply just drawing up and down along that surface, and basically just drawing in a downward motion so that I have those little streaks running. And that's really what I'm looking for, is that those little streaks here and there to give us that little indication that there is oxidization and grime running down the surface and everything like that. Next here, I'm going to just demonstrate quickly that I'm using a cotton swab to remove excess, and also to get into these little nooks and crannies and such on the surface. With the oil paint, I pretty much hit the entirety of the model with this, but again, with the cotton swab, I'm able to draw some of the excess out. It's not that it's really kind of drawing it out, but it's just removing it from the surface. So you only get pretty much only a couple motions with the cotton swab before you have to switch to the other end or get a fresh cotton swab. You will go through quite a few as you do this, but I mean, cotton swabs are really not that pricey, so I don't think it's a huge issue. Broad surface here, you can see I use a bit of a turning motion just to get some of the areas. Now if you wanted to leave a little bit more of a texture on the surface, you could also use a bit of a blotting action or stippling action, kind of a straight in straight out type of motion with your whatever you're using to wipe away the excess paint. But the main goal here is with the oil paint is that we have a long working time, so we could actually hit the entirety of this model with this color before drawing the excess off. But I would warn against that because the paint is wet and it does get everywhere, that if you do apply this to the entirety of the model and you're working your way around, you will end up probably hitting other areas that you did not want to hit or you already worked on and you were very happy with your results, and then of course you ended up bumping and adding more paint to an area that you didn't want. Here you can see we're just simply using our paper towel to just wipe excess away, a majority of the excess away on the surface. Again, you can work out some other creative ways of using the paper towel. I was using the end of a brush, just wrapping the paper towel in just so I can kind of get into some areas, but then I decided, oh, well, I just might as well use cotton swabs and to wipe the excess away. But otherwise, this gives you a really nice, almost realistic type of grime and dirt and rust, oxidification, and all that. Here I'm going to show you another way of creating rust on a surface. I'm going to use this little guy. I don't know what the heck this little model is called. I can't remember. But we're going to use a burnt umber, burnt sienna, and we are going to use dark red ochre. You don't really need to use all three, but I find that, you get a nice graduation of color here. In my little container, I also have a little bit of iso alcohol, and again, I'm going to use my synthetic brush to apply this. Now, these are pigments from Vallejo. These are really, really fantastic pigments. If you prefer other kinds of pigments with your modeling, feel free. But basically here with this, I just simply load the brush with some of the pigment and begin stippling it onto the surface, working it into the nooks and crannies. Now, again, this model has been treated the same way as I had done the Necron Warrior, and everything else is basically laid that chrome paint job down and then gave it a gloss varnish. Here you can see the pigment is quite subtle on the surface, so if this is the really kind of the look you want, where you just have this slight dirtying of the surface and you have just a little bit of the rust and such on the model surface, this is really a fun way to do it. And basically all you need to do is just apply it like so. Just moving the pigment around on the surface, and then basically you can set it with the iso alcohol, and all you need to do is basically load your brush with the iso alcohol and just touch the areas where you have applied or where you really want the pigment to stick. Now, because of the gloss varnish, the iso alcohol will kind of basically eat at that surface, so do not lay it on too heavily, because if you touch the surface or whatever, you can end up pulling the entire paint job off. Next, I'm going to move into some burnt sienna, and I'm just going to, again, create some more brightness. So that first one was fairly dark, and now we're going to move into some more of the reds. And here I'm just pushing the color into little nooks and crannies and, everything like that. Again, this is really more of a dusting. This is actually a really nice, subtle effect, especially with the chromeness of the model. I'm not too worried about, the little block of bricks or whatever it is he's standing on. And you can see this pigment gets everywhere. So gently blowing the excess off, you could lay a varnish down and pretty much would remain like so. Of course, you can also just simply use your mineral spirits, or your iso alcohol. Here I'm basically going to grab some more of that excess pigment and I'm going to begin laying it down. Now I'm using a fairly generous amount of iso alcohol, and really I'm going to touch where I want the pigment to gather. And again, I grab some more pigment and then begin stippling it onto the surface. This is really more of, just my process and how I work with these pigments. Again, these things are very messy, and, I do recommend you cleaning up between phases, between colors or anything like that, just because the color kind of gets everywhere. It gets on your fingers and get on your clothes, and it's just generally messy. But it's a lot of fun. And it's a really fantastic way of getting a very subtle and more realistic effect. I have demonstrated pigments before to get kind of like a really barnacle kind of rust, and that's what we'll demonstrate here as I slowly build up the color. And again, with pigment, this is fairly straightforward, and you can probably work this through a lot of models. Here you can see I apply a fairly generous amount on that surface, and then I begin stippling the pigment on. And really, like right away, you can see how it's already mixed with that iso alcohol, and it's already adhering. So basically what's ended up happening is that iso alcohol is kind of digging into the gloss varnish on the surface, and then when you beat that pigment in, it's stuck in that surface. And then actually, if I varnish this, which I did afterwards, it made no changes. Anybody who's worked with pigments before knows usually when you apply a lot of pigments, you have to, when you varnish, you can see here, I'm just demonstrating how messy your hands get, you end up, dulling the color down, but because of it sitting on top of this gloss, it actually beats it right into the surface. And so here I'm just using a little bit more iso and applying this dark red ochre, which is this nice bright orange color, and this is going to give us our final like rusted look. And again, it's a kind of a haphazard way I'm applying it, and this is for if you really wanted to go for a really rusty effect on top of this chrome. And again, like it's really fantastic. It looks great, especially when you have like the shiny bits of metal peeking through it. It gives you a very realistic approach to using the chrome and the oxidization of the metals, and getting this rust effect onto the model. It's a lot of fun. Here I have it's sat for a few moments here, and then I'm going to basically take a cotton swab and begin just kind of cleaning up some of the parts where just a little bit too much of the rust is occurring, especially like on the little orbs in the body, and also on the excess on the tail. And I also try and feather it out on the armor surfaces on the upper portions. But otherwise, this really is how I go about using pigments in this fashion. And pigments are a fantastic way of going for a more realistic sort of approach to, using, creating rust on a model surface. But again, you can see how the chrome just kind of shines through those pigments. And that is pretty much it. That is 2 ways of creating a rust on top of that chrome. Big thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below and you'll be taken off to a magical site called Patreon, where I have varying tiers to support at. Take care of those brushes and they will take care of you.